So let's start by getting a common understanding of just what a queue is. In its simplest form, a queue is a collection that returns items in the same order that they were added. You can think of this as a checkout line at a grocery store. The people in the line are checked out in the order that they get into the line. First in the line, first checked out. Last in the line, last checked out. It's a pretty simple concept. And now that we have a common understanding of what a queue is, let's take a look at what it means to add and remove items from the queue. It all starts by creating the queue. In this example, I'm using the C# generic syntax to create a queue of integers. Next, I would like to add or enqueue an item. This is like a shopper getting into the grocery line. What we're going to do is add the value 1 into the queue. Now that this item has been added, it is the head of the queue. We can continue to add items to the queue. 3, 4, and 5. And now we have a queue with 5 items in it. Just like the stacked data structure we saw in a previous module, it can be useful to know what item is at the head of the queue. And we can use the peek method for that. And it returns the value 1, because that is the front or the head of the queue. And as you can see, just like in the shopping cart analogy, enqueuing an item is the simple matter of adding it behind the last item in the queue. Now that we have items in the queue, let's look at what it takes to remove or dequeue them. When we begin, the head of the queue is at the number 1. That's the first item we added to the queue. When the dequeue operation starts, it removes the 1 from the queue, returns it to the caller, and adjusts the head of the queue to be the next oldest item, or the number 2. Now let's see that in action. Okay, so we've removed 1 from the queue, and the new head is 2. So we can dequeue the 2, which sets the head to 3. We can remove it to 4, remove it to 5. Now if we dequeue one more time, the queue is now empty, and at this point, no more items can be removed from the queue. But we could call enqueue to add more items back and start the process over again. So as you can see, a queue is a pretty simple data structure conceptually. It's simply an ordered line of items. They're returned to the caller in a first in, first out method.